Atomega. There's a lot of things I can talk about. This game was released on September 19, 2017, and is one of the most unique games that Ubisoft has created. In my own opinion, it is so unique that Ubisoft themselves said that the aim of the project was to create an unusual idea that would surprise players, and it did surprise us. The game introduced groundbreaking mechanics, not typically seen in first-person shooters, resembling the gameplay of the IO games. Players gather purple blocks known as mass to progressively grow larger and transform into various forms, starting as a small ball called the atom, then evolving into the cell, Zol, Sar, Prime, Superior, and ultimately the Omega. In this dynamic environment, players engage in battles, deforming opponents to absorb their mass and accumulate the highest score to emerge victorious. Despite the game's initial success, Ubisoft has not provided any updates or acknowledgement to leave the game community without continued support or development. It is a real shame because the game had a lot of great things for it, and I know a lot of people were excited about it. I even heard about attempts to revive the game by contacting large streamers, YouTubers, and other game companies to try off to buy the IP off of Ubisoft, but these attempts has been futile since no one wants to play or develop a game with a max of 3 people online. As a fan of the game, it's kind of frustrating to see this kind of neglect from Ubisoft, but for now, all we can do is just hope. The game's mechanics were unique for a first-person shooter. Booting up the game for the first time, really don't know what to expect. During the first time phase, you could be utterly obliterated by a rank 40 vet who's been playing since 2017, or you could dominate the entire lobby because no one knows how to play the game since its abandonment. But the game's main mechanic is collecting mass. It's pretty fairly simple. You run around as a little atom, collecting your first bit of mass and become a cell. If you collect more, you're turned into a Zor, then a Sar, and then a Prime, and Superior, and then finally Omega, the most powerful exoform. But be wary because this does not last forever. It has a time frame. If you doesn't collect enough mass to sustain Omega, your form will become basically unstable and you'll go back as an atom, repeating the process until the time phase, aka the round, ends. The game's second and ultimately more optional mechanic is less important than collecting mass, but it's the hacks you found around the map. It seemed like a golden mass cubes. Once you collect them, you will be given a random hack to use, sort of like Mario Kart powers. These include Impact, Roll, Shield, Magnemize, Steal, Rush, Blink, Recharge, Damage, and Ultra. They all explain themselves just in their names. Impact knocks others back. Grow makes mass 2 times more powerful. Magnemize let you shoot mass to take them similarly how you would do it when you shoot at an Omega. Steal lets you yoink other people's masses and deform them quicker. Rush
Deja Vu, I just been in this place before. Higher on the
Blink just lets you teleport, and Recharge is just a med kit of the game. Damage, well, you get to do more damage, and finally Ultra, which is literally everything combined. But you're not Omega, so the hacks really make the game more diverse and not really the same thing over and over again. And with the sense of randomness, it's really any man's game out there. There are some other similar mechanics like stomping in the air to pull yourself to the ground faster. The player base in its community has decreased significantly due to the game's abandonment. On average, there's about 3 to 4 players active in the game per week, with a monthly average of 6 players. Despite the community's desperate efforts to revive it, including reaching out to popular YouTubers, streamers, and even attempting to persuade Epic Games to purchase off the IP from Ubisoft, these attempts has been unsuccessful. Following this failure, many has lost hope of ever getting the game to its initial player count. During launch week, this sense of hopelessness has led to the game being largely forgotten, with most gamers either uninstalling the game or moving on. However, there is a small group of players known as the Atomega remnant still exists in the Discord server, although activity there has drastically gone down. Initially, the game gained attention, but due to Ubisoft not marketing it, it went down quickly. Despite the game's lack of support from its developers and a slim community, the game as a whole is pretty fun. If I were to rate the game on a personal level on a 1 to 10 scale, it'd be an 8. If it had gained more support from Ubisoft, it would have been a 10. Anyways guys, thank you for watching. Subscribe please, I need